Hello everyone, it's Becca from BEKAHBOOKSANDBUJO, and it is time for episode 6 of Pack It or Pass It. In today's episode of Pack It or Pass It, I will be looking at my sci-fi and fantasy shelves. Well, it's just one shelf, and I don't have that many books on this shelf, so I think this one could be relatively easy. We'll see. Yeah, I just want to start. I'm so excited to get through all of my shelves. I think this is the second to last shelf we need to do. So let's check it out. First off, we have The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. This is a sci-fi, and I think I'm going to try a chapter of this one. I'm not too sure I will like it, but I think I heard Emily Fox talk about how she loved this book, and that's why I have it on my shelves, but we'll see. I have no clue what it's about. A phenomenal literary classic. We'll see together. Next up, we have a couple by Kazuo Ishiguro, Clara and the Sun, and Never Let Me Go. These ones I'm also going to try a chapter on. I don't know if I'm going to like this sci-fi or this author, and so we're going to give it a try together. Obviously, sci-fi is one that I'm going to give a try to, or at least try a chapter, because I am going to put this one in the try a chapter pile, too. This is How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. I got this at a free little library, so it wouldn't be too terrible if I needed to part with this, but we're gonna try it out and see if it's a book for me. Sci-fi is always hit or miss, and I think it needs to be a really good sci-fi in order to catch my attention and keep me reading. All right, these ones are kind of like magical realism, I would say. The first is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, and I'm automatically going to pack this one. I loved The House in the Cerulean Sea by this author, and I feel like this one dives into grief, which is a topic I love to read about, so I'm going to pack this one. Another one I'm going to pack is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I've heard that this is such a wonderful, cozy fantasy, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to pack this one. Another that I'm going to pack is Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. For some reason, I just feel like this author is going to be perfect for me. I don't know much about it, but it says it's an enchanting tale of lost souls, lonely strangers, secrets that shape us, and how the right flock can guide you home. I think it'll be perfect for me. All right, and lastly, in this magical realism category, we're going to put The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates in the try a chapter pile. I really love Ta-Nehisi Coates. I've read his nonfiction Between the World and Me. No. Is that what it's called? I think so. Good job, brain. But I haven't tried any... Oh, look. Yep, Between the World and Me. But I haven't tried any of his fiction. So I'm going to try this one, see if the first chapter captivates me. But yeah, I think there's a little bit of magical realism in this story about slavery. Now we are into the Romantasy, I would say. And I think I'm probably going to keep all of these because they are big titles. I don't think I would add Romantasy to my shelves unless there was a lot of hype surrounding them. So the first is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. I think that's how you say her name. I'm going to pack this one. I really think that this Enemies to Lovers book could work for me. Oh, I stand corrected. Masquerade by O.O. Sangoyami. This is not Romantasy. This is just fantasy, I believe. It is a wonderfully reimagined 15th century West Africa. Masquerade is a dazzling lyrical tale exploring the true cost of one woman's fight for freedom and self-discovery and the lengths she'll go to secure her future. So I'm going to try a chapter of this one. I'm not too intrigued by the synopsis, but we'll give it a try. For sure, I am packing Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is the second in the Nightborn duet, second to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. There it is. I loved that Romantasy, and this one I don't think will be any different. It's kind of too bad that I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to pack this one. Next up, a very recent acquisition, we have Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I am going to pack this one. I really want to read it. I am also going to pack Glow of the Everflame and Heat of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I'm actually about to finish Spark of the Everflame, which is the first in this Kindred's Curse saga, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm definitely going to pack these and continue the series. Next up, we have Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I got this purple sprayed edges one, and I'm definitely going to keep it. I wouldn't want to pass on this beautiful book, first of all, but also I think it's a really cool story, possibly with like a game in it. I see deception is the most wicked game of all. I don't know. I really want to keep it on my shelves and read it in the future. And lastly, we have A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I got this in a book box gift that my husband gave me for my birthday a couple of years ago, or maybe just last year. I can't remember. But he filled out this questionnaire on someone's Etsy shop, and that seller picked this book for me with a bunch of other bookish goodies. And I definitely want to read it. I want to give it a try. And I feel like it's pretty spicy, which is okay for me. But I've heard it's really, really good. So I am going to keep this one for sure. I'll pack it. All right, so we are immediately packing 10, and I am trying the chapter of 6, which that's not too bad. When we had 14 or 15 in the mystery thriller category, this feels much more doable. So I will be coming back to you soon with some updates. I'm sitting in the same spot, but it is a few hours later, and I have read the first chapter of 2 different books. So the first one I picked up was Ta-Nehisi Coates' The Water Dancer. And this first chapter left me feeling kind of on the fence. I could have kept this book, I could get rid of it, but it was intriguing. So the first chapter is about a man, and I don't actually think we get his name in the first chapter because it's first person. And so it does say in the synopsis his name is Hiram. And in the first chapter, he gets in like this accident where he falls into a river and his brother drowns, and he is also drowning, I think. It was a little confusing, but still intriguing. And at the very end of the chapter, there is a woman reaching out to Hiram, offering him something. And then it says, at long last, I saw my reward. And I'm not sure if his reward is death or what, but I do know that it's going to be a beautiful journey of freedom after slavery. And I did actually look up a friend. I looked it up on Goodreads, and one of my friends, Jane, who has pretty similar reading taste to me, said that this is one of her best books, or like one of her favorite books of all time. So with that and with a little bit of intrigue, I am going to pack this one. I also realized, yes, I have one hand painted and the other not, because that's the life of a mom, and I got one hand painted and one not. I'm going to do the other one tonight. Trust me. Okay. So I'm packing that one. And then I listened to the first chapter of Masquerade by Oo Sangoyomi. Sangoyomi. That's how they pronounced it in the audiobook. Sangoyomi. And in the first chapter, I was already very, very confused. I couldn't follow the world building. It's going to be a political fantasy, and my head is not in it. And so unfortunately I'm going to pass on this one. I haven't heard really anybody reading this book, and because there aren't that many reviews or people that I know that have read it, I am just going to pass on it. Again, the state of confusion I was in with listening to it, not good. And yeah, so I'm sure it's a great book, but I'm going to pass. All right, let's read some more. So I started reading How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu, and what I didn't realize is this is a short story collection, I think. I'm pretty sure. They might all be like set in the same world, but it's short stories. And I kind of have a difficult relationship with short stories to begin with, short story collections. And then to put on top of it that it's sci-fi, I don't think this is gonna work for me. I did get a little bit into it, and it seems like there's some sort of pandemic happening, and yeah, I wasn't interested, and I wasn't about to read a bunch of short stories. set in this world. So I'm gonna pass on How High We Go in the Dark. Then I moved on to Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, and this one I'm going to pack. This one we are following, they're called AFs, which is an artificial friend. Clara and her friend, who's also an artificial friend. Sorry, I'm like so focused on this little piece of hair that's sticking out. I'll ignore it, maybe. Anyway, Clara is in a store for artificial friends. Her and her friend Rosa are kind of watching the world pass by them through the window. And they're both hoping to be purchased and go to a child's home and be their friend. One day Clara meets a girl through the window that she thinks, well, it's kind of foreshadowed that she is going to be her artificial friend because we know her name. Her name is Josie. And Clara said, I didn't know her name at that point. And so we think that Josie is going to take Clara home to be her artificial friend. I'm really intrigued by this one. Robots are always interesting to me, and Clara seems to be a special kind of robot because, first of all, the manager said that she's like a super fancy model, but then there's also something different about her in that she like can sense emotions more than the other robots and like catches nuance when the other robots can't. So this one I think is going to be good, and I'm going to pack it. Now we've got 2 left. Let's see what we think about those. I read the first chapter in the Sparrow, and I think I'm going to pack this one. This is very interesting. It's set in the future. We are following a group of people who went into space. They tried to find this planet called Rakat, and they came back and the mission was failed for some reason. A bunch of people are trying to ask the lone survivor what happened, and they're giving him some time because he is healing from his like 40-year adventure in space. And yeah, I want to know what happened. I love space stories. I feel like things set in the future like this are very interesting, and I want to know more. The first chapter was set in 2059, and now in chapter 2 it says 2019. So I assume that we will kind of jump between the 2 time periods, and in the earlier one they'll be setting off on their journey to Rakat, and in the later timeline they'll be learning what happened to that excursion, to the people on that excursion. Yeah, I'm gonna pack it. I also received this one with a high recommendation from my dad, and it's kind of funny because I think that my dad annotated this book, so it's kind of fun to read and see his notes as I read. So yeah, I'm gonna pack this one. Okie dokie, I finished my last first chapter. I read the first chapter of Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. Now, I read Clara and the Sun just a little bit ago and really enjoyed that first chapter, but this one I didn't enjoy as much. We are following a young woman named Kathy. She's 31 years old. As a child, she lived at this private school in the English countryside and made these good friends. And it's just going to be like a slow look at her life and her friends' lives. I don't really know where it's going, but I was reading the synopsis and it said, Never Let Me Go slowly reveals an extraordinary emotional depth and resonance and takes its place among Ishiguro's finest work. I can't deal with the slow. I really can't. And if I were to ever return to this, I wouldn't want to read this like old library copy. That's not even the cover that it's published with anymore, and so I'm going to pass on Never Let Me Go. So I quick looked at the numbers before I started this clip, and I passed on 3 books, so I will be getting rid of 3 of my sci-fi, fantasy, romantasy, magical realism books, and I'm keeping 13. So I didn't get rid of as many as I have maybe on other episodes, but I still feel good about the books I am keeping on my shelves. Let me know if you have read any of these romantasy, fantasy, sci-fi books and what you thought of them. As always, I would love to have some bookish conversation with you down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next episode of Pack It or Pass It, where we look at my middle grade and YA shelves. I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye!